Hey everyone, it's your favorite podcast hostess with the mostest, and today we are doing our Valentine's Day special. And I'm so excited. You all won't want to miss 1 second. And we are allowing callers to join in on the fun. This will be epic. This will be huge. You won't want to miss 1 second of what we're laying down today. Here we go. Hostess with the mocha. Hey everyone, it's your favorite host with the most, Marcus of Gentleman Style Podcast Show. And today we have some dynamic guests. We are doing our Valentine's Day special, and these people are absolutely incredible. We are going to debate relationships, but we got to do it right. So as I'm welcoming the team, the lineup, the star dynamic cast tonight, we got to get some epic music on the show today. We're going to bring them in style, y'all, in style. So first off, let me get rid of this music here as we bring in our first guest speaker, argumentative debater. We got some music for her. We have coming to the stage the unorthodox Southern Belle, Karmea. She is a model, superstar. She's been on billboards, magazines, killing it in the absolute game. This woman is absolutely changing the game for women. She's a BBW model, and we love her. You know her. Coming to the stage, help me introduce Karmea Wells.
Hey!
How you doing, girl?
I'm doing good. How are you doing today?
Looking fantastic, feeling even better. Oh my gosh.
I know that's right.
I love this. I'm excited. We already got people tuning in. Next, coming to the stage, this man is the man. This man is absolutely phenomenal. My boy, this dude is a real estate mogul, investor, businessman, podcast host of the Same Difference podcast, changing the game. He is an entrepreneur and growing philanthropist, and he is absolutely dynamic. Help me welcome to the stage Jah of the Same Difference podcast.
Yo, okay now.
Welcome. Glad
Thanks for having me
on the stage here. This is huge. Oh my God. This lady here, you guys, last but not least, this lady is incredible. She's amazing. She's a mother. She's holding it down in the Caribbean. She's the co-host of the Same Difference podcast, and she is absolutely working hard. She's one of the hardest women I've ever seen in my life. This woman is absolutely phenomenal. She's here to even the playing field and help us get to a better situation and keep the team on balance. She is incredible, absolutely phenomenal. We got some music for her. Help me welcome to the stage, Miss Nisi.
Hey, y'all.
We got it. Thank you for coming to the Gentleman Style Podcast stage, and thank you all for tuning in. We have a dynamic show for y'all. This is our Valentine's Day special, and we are also allowing callers to call in and debate with us. You can find us on all social media platforms, on YouTube, iTunes, Facebook, LinkedIn, Facebook business page, and wherever you get your podcast today. So, starting off, we are going to get this thing rolling. We are going to be talking about the hard topics, the questions that everyone has been struggling with, and we are struggling, no doubt, in relationships. We are not doing well in relationships. And so the ladies are here to ask us questions, and the men are going to answer, and our audience members can join in via the call-in number here at the bottom of your screen. So wherever you're streaming, wherever you're watching this, you can call in and debate with them. You don't debate with me. Don't argue with me. I'm a cuss you and your mom out. But anyway, y'all are phenomenal. So call in, join in the fun, and we are going to kick this hush puppy off right with ladies first. I'm on the wrong side. Ladies first.
Mm-hmm.
Got my orientation. These edibles be messing me up, yo. But welcome to the show, ladies. Kick it off. Welcome to the show. You guys have the floor.
Okay, so I'm gonna start off with a hard question. This is something that we talk about quite often. 50-50 or 100% in relationships. So what is it that you guys actually prefer, or what is it that you think is right? Yeah, let's hit it.
So I'll jump on this grenade with my co-host here. 50-50. So here's the thing. I believe in 100% effort on both parties. Um, no, you shouldn't go into relationships with a half mindset. Both parties should contribute to the relationship fully, because that's what you do on your own, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a mindset of, I'll pay half or you do half. I want, if provision is what you want, help me get you there, right? So if you want
Mm-hmm.
to pay 100% of the bills, help me get you there. And so if that means, if I'm making more than you, I'm not going to expect you to try and match my 50, right? It'd be absolutely ridiculous or absurd for me to be making $200,000 a year and you make $50,000 a year, but expect you to come up with half of a $5,000 mortgage. That's not realistic, and that's not going to work. And so let's do what's best for the relationship and make that work. And if the goal is for you to stay at home, I want what you want. So help me get you there. Right. And so if you so I on the Dave Ramsey show, I'll give one example before I pitch it to my partner here. Dave Ramsey had a caller call in, and the husband made $975,000 a year. And the wife was calling in because she wanted to know why her husband won't let her stay at home and be a homemaker. And Dave Ramsey was saying this was completely wrong. He told the wife, just come home, bump whatever. Your husband makes plenty of money. He makes $975,000 a year. Go ahead and come home, and I think your husband can figure that out. That is absolutely the wrong answer, because you
I
don't know
think
what the situation is. You don't know why
right.
working. You don't know what the deal is. So telling her to just go ahead and quit her job and come home is the wrong answer for that relationship,
Mm.
because there's a reason why she's working.
You're right. You're right. And even if there is no, particular rough situation that they're in, I would suggest that's a communication between them two. But I'm that kind of person as a woman. Like, hey, you need to make sure you always have your own money just in case something happens. God forbid if you lose your man. God forbid if something happens to him or his position, or he decides to say, you know what, this ain't working for me no more. I'm out of here. Or anything. You need to make sure you have your own money. That's my personal. Different strokes for different folks. I know some people that want men to pay all the bills. You could pay all of them, but like I said, that comes with a sacrifice too. If he gonna be paying all the bills, just know, sis, you're gonna be doing a lot. You got to buckle down. You're gonna do a lot. If he gonna be doing it all, you gonna be doing it all at home. Just let you know this is what it is. But I'm gonna let same difference go ahead, talk.
Karmea, like you want to switch sides already and the game just start. This is easy. This light work for me. I think I don't subscribe to any singular relationship standard. I think people should do whatever works for them. There are way too many situations and structures between families and how things are set up for us to just say either do this or do that. I've never subscribed to either or. Do whatever works for you. Like Marcus said, you shouldn't have a 50-50 mindset. You should have a 100-100 mindset. I think,
Mhm.
it depends on those two people in the relationship. They decide what works based on their financial situation, who makes more, who works where, their time, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Because one person may be making less, but they may be better at managing the finances. So you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't subscribe to that. I think you should do whatever works for you and your relationship. Don't subscribe to just one standard.
Mhm.
There you have
And
it.
you got anyone in the comments and people watching, you can call in if you have your own special opinions regarding that as well, because I know that's something that's talked about in our society regarding males and females, 50-50 or 100-100. How we going to split the bills? Am I going to pay him or not? Are you going to pay him or not? I'll sit at home. No, you go to work. Which one is it?
Wait, so those were the options, either 50-50 or the man pay 100? Was that the was those the options?
That's a horrible option. That is a horrible. That's a horrible deal. I don't know who taking that deal. Pay all of it or what? That's a terrible deal.
It depends on the person. It's either 50. Do you say like, would you agree with 50-50 or 100%? Now I'm gonna let you know this is a loaded question. Careful how you answer, because it can make you look like you don't want to provide, or it can make it look like you don't want to take care of what you need to take care of. Either way, as a man, I understand. Me as myself, I'm just telling you what it could look like.
For sure.
Me myself, like I said, different stroke for different folks. I was raised to make sure I always have my own money just in case somebody blow up the spot, and always make sure you have your money set. You're good just in case that something happens to that person. It doesn't work out. Things happen. Life happens. Happens. It is what it is.
You see, I if I could tap in real quick, I generally feel some type of way about the have your money, right? Like, so I'm paying 100%, but the only one that has a lifeline is you. Like, because if I'm paying 100%, the chances of me being able to build a safety net are lessened, while you, who's still working and keeping all of your money, your chances are 100% that you're going to have something to fall back on. Like, so now the man, even though he's paying all the bills, and even though women are the majority ones that file for divorce, he's the one that still like is probably going to be left without a lifeline and be left out of money because he's spending.
That's 70%. 70% of women file for divorce. 70% of women initiate divorce.
Initiate, and then 50.
Look,
and it's more than 50% of divorces.
I think the percentage went down when Young Jeezy went and filed for divorce. I think the percentage went down since then. You might want to check that. But either way, it's a communication thing. What is it that you have set up with your significant other while you're paying 100%, and if they're saving their money? What kind of communication do you have going on? What is it? Did you guys discuss what she was going to be doing with her money while you paying 100%? Or did you just bust through the door and say, "I got it, baby. I got it. Don't worry about it. I got it. Don't worry about it." And you just left her there like, "Oh, okay, well, Amazon it is."
And I feel you, Marcus Winston, in the comments. He says, if we are a team, I don't care what people think about our situation or agreement. Her money is my money. My money is her money. Hey, that's dope. Just be careful. I'm talking to the men who are like falling victim to happy wife, happy life.
Oh no, please.
My money is my, and this is the woman. My money is my money, and his money is my money. Be careful with those women. That is a scary dynamic. That is a very scary. There is no 50-50 in any. Ben Price says that's a roommate. You work out what works best in your house from a financial perspective, where both parties are able to have money. Absolutely. And
okay, on that with Ben Price, right? Do we not see that as a contradiction? Don't do this, but there's also no one. You get what I'm saying? Like, he made a very solid statement. There is no 50-50 in any relationship. However, work out what works best in your house. Is that not a contradiction?
It can be. Yes.
It can be.
It can be. If what you work out is in conflict to that. Yes, it can be. Yeah, absolutely can be. So that don't, Ben Price, hey, I feel you, brother. But that, again, be careful with who you connect with. It's absolutely important who you marry. Journey to Love said, this is a young lady. I have been the woman who has paid all the bills, and my former male partner struggled with me being the breadwinner and provider. I absolutely have no problem with that. You want me? I will be cotton picking fed, girl. Where you?
You know what?
I'll pick up the dry cleaning. I'll pick up the kids.
Sir.
I'll iron the laundry. I will do
if
it. Listen,
honey, if that's what works for you, if that's what you want, but if that is not what you
Exactly.
want, you let that man know it's a no over here. You take that back over
Right.
there and you figure that out. But if you don't want to take care of no grown man, that's your prerogative, like Bobby Brown, okay?
that number is actually 80%. Women initiate divorce. So it's grown since Young Jeezy. And if they have a college degree, that number increases.
I wonder why with that college degree though. I'm interested.
I really feel like a lot once you get a college degree, it's I feel like mentally, I'm not saying it's not already there, but I feel like certain avenues open up. It's just like you get to that point of, you know what, I ain't got to deal with this like I used to. You know what, you can go today, right now.
Mm.
We ain't gotta wait tonight. Tonight, you can go right
Wow.
now.
So then the man is just a placeholder until you make better opportunities.
No, that's not it at all.
No.
Let's talk. We gotta talk about how deep it is because this will get real deep.
Does
What
it?
problems were there? What problems were there prior to her getting that degree that
All of a
was
sudden,
not
now that
solved?
she college educated, she recognizes issues. Like before she went to
No,
school,
it's
she didn't recognize issues.
not saying that she recognized the issues. I'm advising that it's gotten to a point of, you know what, she's realized her wealth. She's got to the point of she's tired. I realize my wealth, and you know what? We don't have to do this anymore. We ain't got to sit here and play this game. I know the issues. You know the issues. You ain't want to fix them, including we don't want to fix them. So you can go ahead and go tonight.
Imagine paying 100% of the bills and the college tuition, and then she like, "Hey, no man,
I leveled
Okay,
up.
wait a minute.
I've
I
leveled
leveled
up,
up.
and
Now,
you have
now,
not been
now
No.
you
promoted."
making
And
less than me.
Now,
I
now
can't
look.
be in this toxic
Now that's
No.
relationship anymore. You toxic,
No.
bro.
yeah, nah, that's wrong. Now that's wrong. If she played you like that, I don't know what to tell you. You got set up. You really did.
Bonus round. So, ladies, it's your turn. So, why do
where the cops
women?
at?
I'm about to arrest you over that last statement, boy. What y'all
Mm.
doing? Ladies, why do women cheat? So let me give some context to this question. I recently posted on my Facebook page of a lady being extricated from the church because she wanted to start a new relationship with a guy she met. And so she's already engaged with this guy, loves the new guy, and wants to end the current marriage today because she fell in love with somebody else. So, what is it, if there are any criteria? Why would a woman want to cheat? What are some causes that causes a woman to cheat in a relationship / marriage?
Okay. I'm like I said, truthfully, I'm gonna be completely honest with you when it comes to I truly believe that females cheat more than males. I'm just gonna keep it right is right, wrong is wrong. I truly feel like females cheat more than males because we have a detailed sense of keeping up with shit. So we know how to hide it. We know how to have it set up. I'm gonna just be honest. I don't like y'all can feel how you want to feel in the comments. It could be the case of she could have been cheated on and she left mentally a long time ago. The body just took time to follow. It
Okay.
could be the case of she she's going through things that the issue's not working out. She's communicating them. The person's not caring, or they're being nonchalant, not caring. And it's like, all right, it's ticking. It's ticking. I'm not getting what I need. I need to go find somewhere to get it from what I need. It could be a multitude of things. We're not cheating for the physical attribute here because clearly if it was just a physical attribute, we'll just deal with you.
Nisi want to tap in? Can we please? Ding
Please,
ding.
please
Can we?
tap in, Nisi. Her face is a killer.
I'm
Jesus,
sorry, I'm not.
I'm over here rubbing my
No.
knees like, no, that okay. That
No, she makes great points. And like women, we cheat because emotionally we've already tapped out of the relationship that we're in terms of asking you for what we want. Can you take me out? Can we go on a date? Can we go on a walk? Are you busy this weekend? Can we do something? When you come home from work, is it possible that we watch a movie together? Like there's only so much begging can go on before you don't even realize someone else is giving you the attention that you want, even in sub little ways. Like maybe they're just like realize that you want coffee in the morning, and they bring a coffee for you, and then they keep bringing coffees, or they bring your favorite bun, your muffin, or whatever it may be. Initially, we're
Right.
not intentionally looking to cheat, but when we've been voided for so long with the person we're craving that attention from, and someone is subconsciously feeling it without our peripherals paying attention to it, then you realize, oh, well, I have an attraction to this person because they're giving me what I need, but it's not from the person that I'm in a relationship with. Now, I'm not saying that you should cheat, because I'm gonna be like, listen, I'm going out tonight with so and so. If you want to be here when I come back, cool. But me and you ain't on the same page. That's more me. But everybody else might want to go around the bend and cheat and get it undercover. And I do what works for you, but be aware of the consequences and know how to deal with them. We all grown. Take your
Right.
losses, but enjoy if you're enjoying it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Like, say for example, my my mom said something to me when I was really young. And I feel like with my mom, she talked to me, and at that point, I'm really young. I'm sitting there in a private school, elementary school uniform, and I'm just kicking my feet in the back seat. She's telling me all the information that I need for older. And I remember her saying, "Don't ever, when you get older and you start dating, and you have your significant other, make sure that person knows, don't ever get in the position to let another man be Superman in that woman's life, in your life. Because once that happens, there's a lot of changes that happen. It makes you look, it's not just about how it makes you look. Especially, okay, I'm going to give an example. Say, for example, the woman, which is your spouse, has been asking you to do something for the longest. They've been asking you to do it. You can do it. They know you can, but you've been pushing it off. You've been pushing off. Then the work husband, he sees the problem, and he's like, you know what? Or the wannabe work husband sees the problem. He's like, you know what? Let me go help her with that. Let me go fix that for her, because she's been dealing with that and it hasn't been fixed yet. Now you could have fixed it, but now already you showed another man that there's an opening. It's an opening. Stuff ain't getting done over there like it's supposed to. It's an opening.
Why don't you turn down the man's advances?
You turn down the man's advances, but it's so many, like, you're doing it consistently and it's not, the work and stuff is not getting done. You're turning it down. She's asking you and talking to you. Like I said in the beginning, mentally, you're leaving. Every time you're asking the same thing, you're like, you know what? I'm about to just turn this off. Let's just go ahead and unplug the whole power strip. Just unplug it.
You can't work from an empty cup. Like, you can't drink from an empty cup, right? So at some point, I'm asking you to pour in, and you don't. It's either I'm going to be self-sufficient to fill my own cup, or someone else sees that my cup is empty and starts to. It might even be a drip. It might be a dripping faucet into the cup to fill the cup, and usually it's always an emotional connection for women first before it turns into a physical thing. That's why men are more hurt when women cheat, because they know she had to get to know this person on a real level before she gave her body to him. Versus a guy could just go out and be drunk and have a one night stand with a girl he don't even know her name, and it don't mean anything to him. So that's the difference. Is, yeah, she's been like, hey, I'm empty, I'm running low, I don't feel connected to you, we're not even when we're having sex, it's not even like an act of passion or love, it's just a thing that we have to do. Or I don't feel connected, I want to go out, I want to dress up, I want to something, and you're just like delaying, making excuses, like, no, this is that. And then when I see you prioritize like your work and your family and your boys and your hobbies, but I'm never on the list of the prioritization, then at some point, someone else is going to make you feel like a priority. And that's how women usually end up in those situations where they cheat.
Especially when the woman decides to continuously in the relationship, they're putting everyone else first, especially you as the spouse. They continuously put you first, put you first. And if in that case they don't feel like no one has their back, they don't feel like anyone is covering them or trying to be concerned about them, then you have that person that come along like the damn, what is they called, like the Pink Panther sneaking and shit, and they just waiting, they just waiting to fall into the, like, I'm waiting for her to fall into the trap. Come on, baby, come on over, come on, baby, work husband. Hey, what's up? What's up? I bought you Starbucks. They just ready.
If I could tap in here for a second,
You absolutely can.
I think it's important for us to recognize that in my opinion, men and women cheat for the same reason, because they choose to. Like, like the ladies made valid points. Yes, all of those things. However, we need to recognize that choices are being made.
Mhm.
You could have chosen to not cheat. You could have chosen to leave. So when you say,
You're right.
you're leaving, in between you leaving, you slipped on your way out the door and landed on a dick. So I think we need to recognize that there was a choice there, right? On both sides, men
Yeah,
and
there
women
is.
cheat because we choose to. That's the,
Mhm.
but
Yeah,
that's
I
all I have to
agree.
say.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Oh,
That's what
I
I
agree
said.
as
Like for
well.
me, I'm gonna
It's a
leave.
choice.
It's a choice. I'm gonna leave because I'm not gonna just
Mhm.
cheat because nobody slips and falls and anybody and be like, I'm sorry, it was a mistake. No, ain't no mistake.
Exactly.
The mistake
That
is you
happened
got
to me
caught and I don't
once.
want to,
It
and
was raining.
I'm out. But
That
Ain't
happened to
no
I
me
agree
way.
with
once. It
you.
was
It's a
raining. It
choice.
was raining
Ain't no way.
outside.
Ain't no way.
And that rain to be doing some
It
stuff.
was a, yeah, it's a choice. It's definitely a choice in anything you do in or out of a relationship, especially in a relationship. It's a choice how you move. It's a choice how you communicate with your partner. It's a choice on how you discuss things, whether you're going to discuss it or not, or whether you're going to just push it off and leave it for later and never get back to it. All of that is a choice. But we have to
Absolutely.
deal with whatever consequences that come with that choice. That's why I always look at it as, I'm gonna be real. I look at it as everybody is human, especially if you fuck up. Then you
Absolutely.
get knocked off that pedestal. You got to work. You got to work your way back up, honey, to the heavens. You got to work it. You work your way back up. Blessed be the fruit it is. It just is
I'd
what
like
it
to
is.
ask a question
May it
to the
work.
audience.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'd like to ask a question to the audience. Um, so if men and women cheat because they choose to, can you keep a woman from cheating? Can you keep a person from cheating? Is there things that
No.
you can do to stop them? Because we heard the reasons why. If you were to fulfill those, would you stop it then?
No,
You.
I could stop you from cheating on me because I'm gonna leave, but I can't stop you from cheating. That's a whole different kind
Mm,
of. You can't control any person's decision. You could try your best to be the new monitoring service, the ADT plus, but at the end of the day, I mean, the security system. Like people are gonna still find a way to do it if they want to. Like there's only so much you
mm-hmm.
can do to monitor that person to see what they're doing. And then at what point are you now living your life? What point are you being in a relationship versus a supervisory role? You're just supervising to see, I ain't got time to be monitoring heat, checking location, following to the job, make sure the car is safe, he's checking at the clock, make sure he have your lunch, if he eat the food in the car. I don't have time for all of that. Like, if you gotta do all of that to make sure the person stays with you, then
It's too much.
are you really being true to yourself? Are you paying attention to what you want and your needs? And are you giving you what you deserve? No, because you should not have to chase anyone behind you to be with you. We gotta
Mm.
women, we gotta stop.
Do
It
better.
ain't cute. It ain't cute. No, it's 2024. We got options.
Sean the
We been
Prince
had
says,
options.
Sean the Prince says
We
no. Sean the Prince says
we
no.
did.
Marcus Winston says hell nah. Angie, I thought you were going. Angie agrees with Nisi on her great points. Yeah, it's a consensual. Hey, Miss
Yeah.
Pooh,
Yeah.
what's going on? Hey, girl, love you. Yeah, it's a unanimous no. Ladies, it's your turn
Mhm.
to ask the fellas a question. Great job on why women cheat.
So what I would like to know is, men typically are the providers, but why are you guys not providing for your mental and emotional needs as well?
Ew, 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 ew.
Go
Yeah,
Oh.
all
ahead.
right. All
No,
right.
it is not. Wait,
Because
it is.
first of all,
Oh my
when you're
God,
paying
I've been waiting for
100% of the bills, you ain't got no time to check it. For
No,
one, hell. But
nah,
okay, okay. Here is a real reason, especially in our community, there is a stigma against men not being quote unquote strong. We're supposed to, men get brought down to these two things: protect and provide. And we're not allowed the space to exist, right? So a man does not tend to get that opportunity to be like, man, I don't feel like going to work. I don't feel like doing this. I've been depressed, all of these other things. Women tend to get those options. Like if a woman feels like she doesn't want to do her part, there are reasons why that she is provided. Men do not get those. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't get those same leeway. If a woman doesn't want to have sex, it's headaches, postpartum depression. It's, she just don't want to. She busy cleaning up the house. She been dealing with the kids. If a man been working 12 to 14 hours every day for 6 days a week, you think he could tell a woman no for 4 of those days and she not talk about it in a group chat and he not be looked at as less than? When we're carrying the weight of the world on our shoulders, we don't have time to say I'm depressed. That's why we don't find that time. And then in all honesty, the friendship circles that men tend to have, they're toxic and unhealthy. If I go to my boy right now and say that I feel depressed, you know what he gonna do? He gonna pass me a drink, turn around some football or something and start talking about something else. The chances that he's going to say, hey, I think you should talk to somebody, man. Go to a professional or something. They're very slim. Another thing that women don't generally have to deal with. Male friendship circles, there's a lot of toxic masculinity in them. But that's what I think.
And the reason I ask that is
And
because looking at like the last year or so of all the people who got divorced and so forth, like you said, women initiate divorce, and some of the millionaires and billionaires who were divorced in the last year, clearly they're not being divorced because of money issues, right? So we know the financial aspect is not the reason. And usually when we see these women do these interviews, it's usually a matter of attention, emotional, mental abuse, those things. And it stems from the guy not taking care of his personal needs in order to provide for his family in those other areas. So I always see that men provide financially, but they don't really provide in those other areas that keeps a family whole. They expect the women to be the emotional bearers because we bear the kids and so forth, and they don't contribute to that aspect of the family that we need as well to keep our family functioning.
I think what Ben Price is saying there should definitely be
oh
spoken on.
Lord,
I didn't see what he said.
these questions.
Ben Price.
I
Ben
got
Price.
it.
They got 2 questions in the chat. I'm gonna bring them up. I see you guys. We're gonna get to you
Woo!
guys. That issue's. By the way, guys, this is a call-in special. You can call in and ask these
Yes.
questions as well. But we're gonna try and work through it. Ben Price says that issue starts from rearing. We never are taught from childhood how to deal with our emotions. It is stigmatized growing up and hasn't been prioritized as adults. So that's Ben Price. And then we got 2
I agree
questions.
with Ben 1,000%. It hasn't been. It wasn't something that we learned or was taught to us. In an age now where it's becoming more obvious what the core issues are, I don't find that. I mean, still we have to get people to pay attention to them, but we need to realize, like, hey, I'm the adult here. I make the decisions about where I go to work, what kind of car I buy, the insurance, what I feed my body, where I go to vacation and party. I got to make decisions about what I'm going to do for my mental needs as well, because it's all part of who I am. The prioritization, yes, I get it. Sometimes we might not have the time to do it when we want to. I know life gets busy, hectic, overwhelming, but at some point, when do we say, hey, I really need to do it for me, despite the stigma that comes with it, because it still affects you and your relationships that you're in.
And that's why, like, I can also say for you have certain females, like for myself, I'm a big person. I'm in, I dilly dally in the medical field as well. So I'm a person about mental health. I'm not ashamed. I went to counseling. I still go to counseling. You need to talk to somebody when you have things going on that you may not be able to reach where you need to go to, mentally with the people around you. and I also tell that to black men. Any black men I know, any black boy,
We have a caller
I'll
from
be
the
damned.
Gentleman Style Hotline. Let me connect this call.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hey, caller, this is Gentleman Style Podcast Show. Where you calling from and what's your name?
Hey, Marcus. It's Regina. How are you?
Hey, Miss Poole. How are you, sis? How's it going, sis? Miss Regina Poole joining us on the Gentleman Style Podcast stage. Yes, sis. What are you here to share with us? We're on the topic of why are men not providing? Men are deemed providers. Why are men not providing anymore?
So, I think it's a great question. I don't think anybody has a wrong question to answer. What I don't...
That wasn't
a question. No.
What was the question? We were
talking.
The question was that men are typically the providers, but why are they not providing for their mental and emotional needs?
Okay.
That's what I thought. I was going to answer that. That's what I thought. We're on the same page.
Go ahead. Thank y'all for correcting me.
Okay.
You're welcome.
So I think I don't think there is a wrong answer to the question. I don't think there's accountability in the question being answered. And by accountability, I mean, as a woman to the same husband for 25 years, I have to recognize when he needs a break. I have to, just like he has to recognize when I need a break. And it's okay for us to say, you know what, take that time. Go. And I don't believe all male relationships are toxic, but I ain't never been a man that would make me crazy. Y'all can keep that peace. But I do think that we have to give each other the breath and the latitude to be able to unplug for a minute. And unplugging doesn't mean you're going to do something wrong. Unplugging simply means I just need a minute to myself. We very quickly recognize when women go astray because we tend to be more emotional. And we, once you light that fuse, we just blow. But it's not so easy for us to recognize men. I do agree with the comment that said they've been conditioned to be that way. I don't know where that conditioning began, but I think it creates a disconnect in the household. Now, having said that, and I'm going to get off the phone because I enjoy listening to you all talk. I don't know what fleeing to another race has to do with a hill of beans, because I think there's toxicity in every culture. It doesn't matter. So you can either deal with the toxicity or be the trophy prize, newfangled toy of the toxicity you don't know. That's all I'm saying. Bye.
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 Bye. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So Marcus Winston types in. So I'm gonna great point. Yeah, great points on all accounts. I'm gonna try and see. I probably can't find it, but hey, Angie had a follow-up question, but we're gonna keep it moving. We're gonna keep it moving this episode here until I find Angie's question. So now it's the men's turn. We gonna hit it back. This is my favorite question. This is my favorite toxic masculinity question. So I need some slow jams for this one. So, ladies.
Oh, this is gonna be some bullshit, Lord.
If a man pays all the bills, what is a woman's money used for?
Emergency funds. It's used for emergency funds and to also put back just in case something happens with that male. You need to make sure. Let me tell you something. If COVID didn't teach y'all nothing, it better teach y'all that you need to have something in the background just in case something happens to your significant other. You need to make, if he's doing all the working, then baby, you need to be putting some money back just in case go down. Just in case something go down or something is. Don't do that. Don't do that.
That's a great point, though. What is the emergencies don't happen every day?
You can put now. Here's the thing. You could put the emergency funds. It could be if she's making money, she could put funds back for herself, and she could do it for the family. It's very possible. It's very possible. It's possible, just like you paid all the bills. But
Y'all be taken
it's
care
like,
of, boy. Y'all be getting taken care of one way or another. Go ahead. Sorry.
anyway. But it could be emergency funds could be for anything. Like say for example, you got the weird stuff that happens, whether it's with the vehicle or with the household. You own a house, things break. Yeah, you got insurance for certain things, but sometimes it don't cover everything. There are things that happen out of the blue that you just don't know could happen. Like for myself, we was good, thank goodness, but I had a situation happen with me and my significant other during a pandemic. My honey bunny got sick, but we was prepared. We was damn, y'all childish. Go ahead, answer the call.
Things that happen out of TikTok. Press.
Hey, caller, this is Gentleman Style Podcast Show. Where you calling from and what your name?
It's Regina again. You already knew I was calling back.
She's trying to redeem herself. She couldn't answer the question the first time.
So for clarity's sake, Miss Regina Poole has been on the show previously, and she previously got hit with this question, so she's calling back in to help us.
I'm not going to even chime in on the question.
Okay.
I'm going for your co-host in crime right there.
Who?
And Mr. Price that tend to think that we don't do anything with our money and that we hold it up to leave you. We ain't leaving nothing that ain't pushing us away. Let me start with that.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, all we do, I guess I agree wholeheartedly. It should be a work together. It should be a co-joining together. And it's only us putting money away if you don't know we doing it. So if you don't know what she's doing with her money, I would have to ask you, why don't you know? Because it is a joint effort. It should be put away to be on the side. There are times when stuff hits the fan, but it's not something to store. If you think she putting money away to leave you, why are you with her? I
don't know that in advance.
Why?
I don't know that in advance.
You know, I pay my car insurance for an emergency just in case. Do I see that money often? No. But I know they get my money though. But it's for an emergency, but they're holding it for me. So basically, you're part insurance, but for whom? The emergency is for whom? So I couldn't do that by myself. I need you to do it.
No, we never said you couldn't do it by yourself. So you are all sufficient. You could do it all by yourself. Hence, you wouldn't have needed to be put to sleep and we wouldn't have come out of your rib because you could do it all by yourself. No, what I'm saying is that you trust the insurance company more than you trust the woman you're married to. And again,
I don't trust them. It's mandatory. It's mandatory to pay them.
Say that again?
It's mandatory to pay the insurance. I don't want to pay them either. I'd rather just put it aside myself. And then if something happens, I can pay it.
Okay, let me just ask for clarification. So you don't think that she's putting things away for you from mandatory? I'm not poking a bear. I'm asking clarification.
No. I can't be poked.
No,
I'll
say no.
No.
So what is the question?
I'm saying no. I'm saying no to her question. No, I don't think you are. No.
So what kind of communication do you have with your significant other that you don't know what's going on?
I don't think it's a vital function that you're serving. Quite frankly, it's a vital function for a man to provide, right? They say we're supposed to provide and protect. Those are vital functions that you want the man to perform. You holding money for an emergency fund and vacations, those are not vital. I could set that up on automatic bill pay.
Those are not necessary.
So, not disagreeing with that, but that doesn't answer the question.
What's the question?
Because you said you could do it by yourself. So why don't you do it by yourself?
That's what men do in their singleness. What do you think a man does when he's single?
Do you think he does not do this?
I'm just playing the devil's advocate here because you said you don't need her to do that. So what does it?
He's telling you that's not a real function because I can do that by myself.
Oh, so that's not a real function.
No,
It's not a vital
saving
function.
for an
Oh,
You
emergency.
can literally set up a savings
oh.
through your bank account now.
A light bill, you want lights next month, right? I need lights.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
I don't need an emergency fund because I can do that on my own.
Mm.
So what is your
So
initial
you
reason
don't
for
want
having
her
a
to work
significant other
then.
then?
I want my significant other to handle things that will relieve me of something, right? That it needs to
Like
be a
what?
vital function. These are not vital functions.
Oh,
Saving
Agreed.
for
it must tie
vacation
back
and
to your Valentine's post, Marcus. Is that what the vital function is? The Valentine's post you put up earlier.
No, no, it's not.
What?
It's her
I
retire.
guess.
So you see a consistent trend with the men. The men are joshing, right? The men are like, it's her retirement for marriage. The men are hearing what
Oh,
me and Jar are saying. An emergency fund is
the
not
men
an
I
are
get,
actual.
hearing
It's,
men.
it's
I
not
get
an.
that.
It's not an
Men are
but
actual.
hearing men.
You
I get
I
that. Men are
feel,
hearing men.
yeah.
right, right,
So
and so
I
it.
really feel like the communication is lost between you and your partner if you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. If you're paying 100% of the bills and you don't know what she's doing with her money, then it sounds like to me the communication we lost in translation. What is going on that you ain't talking to her? What's going on?
Then that's what we need to talk about. We need to talk about if you want me, just like I said earlier, if you want me to pay 100% of the bills, we're going to talk about what it is you're doing. So if you're working, what is your money going to be used for? Prime example, and we saw this float around on social media where the wife, like I think like 95 or 98% of her income was used for investment properties. And so if we buy an
I'm
apartment
sorry.
building, if we buy an apartment building, it's going to be with her money because I am paying for everything. Car maintenance, everything. Bills, mortgage, lights. And so that is an investment to in the family because now we are growing our net worth based off of 95% of her income. That is useful to me. That is not useful for me for you to save for an emergency. My wife is
Mm.
building a nest egg for us to invest with, so we can go to our realtor and say, "Listen, we want to buy this 8-unit apartment complex." And my wife has been setting aside 95% of her income because she doesn't have any financial responsibilities.
But that's a
I think
discussion that you have
Mm.
with your wife, though. And
mhm.
so, like for me, what I don't support the hierarchy situation because 100 men provide 100% because that's how they set up the hierarchy in order to control women. Women couldn't vote. They couldn't divorce men. They couldn't go to school. They couldn't. They had to stay home, basically make kids and take care of the home life. That's why men were always 100% the providers. I'm not knocking it. If you want to do that now and a guy approaches me or whoever and says, "Hey, I want to take care of you 100%." And I will be like, "Hey, I work, I have things that I need to take care of, whatever that may be, and so forth." And now we discuss what I'm going to do with my money if he wants to take 100% responsibility of me and his
Mm-hmm.
financial bills. That's cool. So we'll discuss that if that's how he wants to, because there are people who are still traditional. I'm just know that I'm not going to participate in the traditional ways women used to when men provide 100%. We're going to have a clear discussion about finances because, like I think Josh said earlier, you could make the more of the money, but that doesn't mean that you're financially responsible. So while I'm thinking you're paying bills, you could be out gambling in Vegas every weekend, or we have nothing saved up in the bank. So there's some things that has to go in place, even if he's taking care of us 100% financially. I still got to make sure that's happening. If there's kids, if there's whatever that may be, I still got to take care of him too in order for him to provide 100% into us. And that might be monetarily as well. That might be more my physical attention to the home and managing his businesses or whatever I might need to do to support him to provide 100% financial responsibility over my needs. It's a conversation, but the hierarchy of just
Mm-hmm.
what am I doing with my money? We're going to discuss that. If you come to me with it and you want to do it, I'm not going to stop you. We're going to make those decisions. Like, Marcus said, okay, investment properties or whatever that may be. Maybe I might have a dream. Maybe he might say, hey, the next 3 years, I'm going to do 100% of the bills so you can fulfill your dream of going back to school or opening your business or whatever. So you can do that. That's what those conversations are for. So we can be a team and make a team happen.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. That's fair.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Say
We
the difference.
getting
One
And
last point.
before we go, another example of that would be like Tabitha. Tabitha Brown, remember when she got married, her husband was her sole financial provider in a sense, because she knew what she wanted to do with her life. Now that she's a big famous influencer, whatever she considers herself to be, she has now retired her husband from his professional career so he can enjoy his life that he wants to enjoy. And it was a big thing that, oh, she's retiring her husband, blah, blah, blah. But we don't do that when men retire women as wives. So, but no one sees the part where he was there supporting her to get her where she needs to be. Now she's there. She recognized her husband's sacrifice. And she's like, babe, you're done. Put in your retirement notice. Come on over here. We're living good over here. It's that kind of thing that you got to work through with your partner.
It absolutely,
I agree.
It absolutely was.
So it's all about the communication.
It absolutely was.
I think we need to recognize also that, like, in this day and age with inflation and the cost of living and everything is sky high, right? Saying certain things is gonna be done with the money. Like, if it's not making more money, I don't think it's as impressive as it used to be. You get what I'm saying? Like in 1965, maybe you putting away for retirement funds, it was cool. But right now, where I could click, and I now could have that taken out of my check automatically every month, it's not as impressive. I'm just going to be honest.
It is. It isn't. It's not impressive anymore to men. It's not saving for retirement and vacations. That's not it. That's not enough.
You can't save when you have to live for today. It's not easy to do.
Not if I'm going to work till I die to provide, and you're going to offer me vacation funds. Right. Like, we need to come on now.
I ain't never saved. That wasn't a part of an emergency. I ain't never said.
How long am I supposed to provide till I die? Right?
We're going on
supposed to provide till I die.
I'm stressed out.
Like emergency vacation. I ain't never said that was part of the emergency. But did that become an emergency?
It's an emergency vacation. I'm stressed out.
Ladies, it's your question. It's your stage right now. Great job, y'all. Great job. This is dope. I hope this is helping y'all. This is dope. We are on all social media platforms. We are going to go to a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Baby Gear Services DMV specializes in high-quality baby gear rentals in the Maryland and DC metro area. We have a wide range of baby gear items for rent, including wooden cribs, car seats, high chairs, and more. We also offer seasonal specials and free delivery. Our prices are very versatile to cover every budget. Wooden cribs start at $17 a day, high chairs and even car seats start at $5 a day. Check out our website, www.bgsdmv.com.
All right, ladies. We waiting. What's that?
Okay. So going back to the money topic, whether you're in a relationship or you're crossing those boundaries in a relationship, we going through the physical, we getting into it with each other physically, intimately. Men are always down for that. But when she brings up monetary issues, why is it a problem? Monetary issues in her life. I need some bills paid. But she can open up her body. But even in a relationship, I've heard some people be like, well, she can't give me what I want when I want it, but she wants me to help with certain stuff, or she wants certain things done financially.
So that's a huge deal breaker for me. When women correlate money to back-breaking manual labor. That's not the same. Right? If you correlate me mowing your grass and fix it, like I literally, I had a follower ask me this to ask to my audience, and she said she was dating a guy, and the guy didn't do squat for her. Right? The guy didn't do anything for her. Now, on the flip side, he did not ask for anything from her. Right? And so she is going over to his house and she's sleeping with him, blowing his brains out, right? And then she is now flipping to him, hey, my headlight is out for my car. Can you fix my headlight? He declines. She calls him. He's like, hey, I have an electric mower. Can you change the battery? He declines. hey, I just bought a house. Can you refloor the house that I just bought? Can
Wait.
you put carpet in the house? Sex is not an equivalent to back-breaking labor. So, ladies, if you out there offering sex and you think that's entitlement for me to go and do some back-breaking manual labor, that is not the equivalent. That is ridiculous and that is absurd. And same thing with money. If you think that entitles you to money, you give me some sex, that is wild.
I'm talking about when you're in a relationship.
Mhm.
Not somebody you try to miss. Oh, hey, Miss Parker. That's not what we're doing. We're not trying to, lead up to. We're talking about people who are in a relationship, because that sounds like something of the case of the Cash App era. Like, I'm just now meeting you, and I'm about to do this transaction real quick. I'm talking about in a relationship. I've heard about some men talk about the situation with opening their wallets to even a woman that they're with. She's always asking for this, this, and this. Well, if she holds down the household, the kids, and do all of this, and not in on top of that, she works. What's the problem with you trying to communicate with her and try to figure out how certain things can get paid for if it's not a lie?
Okay. I guess I need some clarification before I answer. What's the situation here? Like, you need money every month, or what's happening?
It's not that you need money every month. It's like, say for example, because men are kind of tight with their wallets. Not saying all of them, but some of them can be tight with their wallets. Maybe it's something that she wants to do. It's not something that she want to do all the time. It doesn't have to be blow your brains, blow your mind out, expensive. I'm sorry, these comments is getting me lit. They funny as I don't know what. It's not something that's super expensive, but it's the case of, oh, she asking for something all the time. Didn't I just give you money 2 months ago? It's
Okay.
it's an issue that, but y'all ready as soon as y'all in the mood, y'all ready to be like, okay, let's hit this bedroom, let's do this real quick. But you can't give her what she wants.
Which is money.
Okay. So for me, personally, if you're asking for money several times, depending on what it is, it seems like you're not fiscally responsible. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you're asking for money once a month for your light bill, or I meet you and your light bill is behind a couple months, like, that suggests that you're not good with money. And yes, it does become a burden to always ask for money. That's with any relationship. I don't care if it's your mother. If your mother always asking for money, at some point it becomes old, right? And if it's in exchange for sex, I don't have a problem with that, but let me know the price up front. Don't have sex with me and then I'm in the negatives now, and then you charge me later. Tell me. Put a QR Cash App code or something on your panties up front and let me know. So you get what I'm saying? In most cases, if you're having sex with someone, it should be an even exchange already. If you're getting off and everything, it's an even exchange. So why am I now in the negatives? Why do I now owe if we both got what we came here for? You're charging me,
I love the dude said on tonight's conversation. He's like, ladies, y'all benefit from sex too. Don't try and put it off like y'all did us a favor.
Women want sex.
Y'all want sex just as much as we do. But y'all try and cover it like, oh, I gave him sex. Open up your wallet. That's not the same. Y'all
I'm just saying,
sex.
Yeah, just be straightforward. If you feel that I owe you, if you give me some, let me know how much the fee is up front. Don't charge me on the back end, because now it's a scam.
This is real. I had a woman. There's a girl on social media right now. She straight up said, she was like, $500 to for me to respond to your DM. She's putting the price up front. So that is your decision to pay her the $500 for her to respond to you and engage with you. She's putting it out there. And just like Jah-malie said, I'm not knocking you that you're putting a price tag on the pussy. Hey, somebody gonna pay it. She wouldn't do it if somebody wasn't paying it.
It's the old profession for a reason, right?
Yeah, I'm not paying it.
No, I also don't charge me, right, if you're not a professional, first of all, because I could have went to a professional instead of a part-timer. Don't charge me no professional fees
With
and you do this
limitations.
on the weekends, and then I still got asked for it. What are we doing? A professional knows when I show up, I give you money, you give me, you know what I'm saying? Like
So you got
the
15
exchange
minutes,
don't exactly.
10.
I know how much time I have. I know
Honey.
when I know it's time to leave. No, don't wait until I'm pulling up my pants. Oh, that's 500. Huh?
But
She flipped the sundial on you. She flipped the sundial like, all right, time is ticking, brother. Time is ticking. Let a brother know
he
up
said
front.
she treat him.
She
He
got
said
it.
she treat him like a parking meter.
Oh my God. Yeah, let me
He
put
said
some
he was
more money on
treating
it.
him like a parking meter. Let me put some money in a parking meter real quick so I can get it running.
Ja is your question. Great question, ladies. Ja is your question.
All right. Why do so many women today find it hard to take accountability for their actions?
It depends on the woman. It depends on what type of woman you're dealing with. It's not every woman. Taking accountability, it depends on the type of woman you got. What kind of woman you got? That's something you should know. The silences speak loudly. It's the type of woman you have. It's not all of us. I'm like I tell Marcus all the time, we be on the podcast and I be like, look, right is right, wrong is wrong. If I was wrong, I'm gonna take that and take accountability and I'm gonna fix it. Right is right. I'm gonna fight you. We gonna fight that out. But right is right, wrong is wrong. It all depends what type of woman you have. If you got a woman who can't take accountability, that's something you should have saw in the beginning.
I should have had this clip earlier. But there's an auxiliary clip that a therapist. This lady's a therapist. She's been a therapist for 10 plus years, and she was asking her partner. She's like, "What is the deal? Why aren't relationships working anymore?" And her partner, her partner in the therapy session said, "Women don't take accountability." And so what the lady did is she recalled all her years of practice and she looked at her past practices and she realized that when in those marriage sessions, in those counseling sessions between husband and wife, she would commonly address the issues of the marriage. Then she would go to each individual partner. And when she commonly and routinely addressed the men were open to her suggestions. Hey, you need to work on this. Hey, you need to do this. And then when she would go to the women wouldn't want to go to therapy. The women would blow steam, and they'd be like, "Oh, you taking his side, you're not listening." And routinely, the women would stop coming to therapy, and the men are taking accountability, and the women are not. And she's noticed this over a 10-year practice.
Whoa.
That was the commonality, that women were not taking accountability for their parts in relationships and marriages.
I've heard it more the other way, the flip side,
Yeah,
that
I've
men are the
never heard
ones
it
that
that
you
way.
gotta drag. I've never heard it that way. I've heard it and known and seen it more that you gotta drag men kicking and screaming to counseling and they don't want to go. No, that's you problem. That ain't a me problem. And they're ready to dismiss you about issues. They're ready to dismiss it. They don't want to take accountability. They just want to act like it's not there and sweep it up under the rug like nothing ever happens.
To answer your question, to answer your question, I agree with you. Women don't take accountability. It takes a lot for you to be able to sit and self-reflect to say, how do I contribute to this? I find that even if someone's treating me wrong, the longer they treat me wrong, I have an accountability in how long I allow them to treat me the way they've been treating me. That's my responsibility. And so we don't see it that way as women because we're like, we're doing the most to show you how much we care and we love you. We're taking care of home and I'm the best choice for you. And, the dumb other girls out there ain't gonna do you like I don't do you. And, that's what we look at as women instead of saying, hey, I know what I am. I know what my value is. I know what I stand for. And you're consistently demeaning me, manipulating me, and undermining my value. And I feel less than when I'm with you. And I'm not going to do this with you anymore. So I'm leaving. Women take a longer time to do that than a man. A man would be like, hey, I don't like what you do. You talk to my homeboy, me like that, we done. And then you'd be like, wait, all the shit I put up with for you, and then you done with me because your homeboy said something to me. And then we take that and look at it in that kind of reflective way, but not saying like, hey, I'm accountable for how I respond to people when they do something to me that I don't like or I do like. That's part of taking accountability and acknowledging how I contribute and play a role in what's happening in my life at the moment. So I can say, yeah, women really don't do it. I've seen it enough times that they don't. But there are people who do the work, like, Karmea says, hey, I can say, like, I'm wrong. This is what I did wrong. Okay, acknowledge how you received what I said. I understand maybe it came across the wrong way. Not everyone's willing to do the work that it takes to really be authentically honest about owning up to when they do something wrong. It's not an easy thing to do, but people don't. We're deflective.
Thank you. No,
It
the reason
depends. No, I still
There
feel
we
like
go.
it depends on the person.
I don't think she
but
knows
still feel like it
majority,
depends on the
but
person.
majority of
She
women
proved the
don't.
point
I
today.
agree with you, but majority of the
Because I've
women
seen
don't
it
take
from.
accountability.
The reason why I asked this, right? I noticed I said it the
I've
way
seen
I
it for
said it.
women and men. So
I said it the way I said it specifically because I know there'd be people in the comments that say not all women. If you notice, I said, why do so many women? And what's the first thing they say? Not all, even though that's not what I said, right? So y'all already ain't listening to me. You already tapped me out. So the thing.
I listened, but as soon as I heard it, I was like, so that means you try to go ahead and mark up with the 80% markup. Like, wait a minute.
Is that listening? Is
Wait
that
a
active
minute.
listening? So anyway,
It was active.
It was active. You got active.
You're
So
definitely
big.
active. You're definitely active.
So the reason why I ask it, right, is because I spend a lot of time on social. Yes, I spend a lot of time on social media because
Childish.
of what I do, right? And if you look into it, the spaces on social media catering to women is for you not to take accountability. The reason why Derek Jackson is still making millions of dollars and still doing conferences, even after you've seen what he did to his wife, yes,
He is. He is.
He's still
I
selling
haven't
books.
seen
He's still
any of his
selling out.
content.
The
He's
man is
not putting it out,
I
but
didn't
he's still
know.
selling out.
Okay.
So the reason why the Chris Q Perrys and stuff of the world are making so much money is because they tell
I
women,
didn't
you're
know he
not,
was.
I could be doing it where you play the soft music and you take your shirt off and then you're not the issue. There's no such thing as a difficult woman. It's just that you work hard all day. Because the reason they make so much money is because women like what they say. They like what they hear and it doesn't force them to look at themselves. That's the era that we're in. That's why I asked that question.
But that's for the people. That's definitely for some females that are not.
It's not some females. I'll speak about it from the church, right? I'll speak about it from the church. This is a great point that another podcaster that I know said the same thing with the church. Churches are hugely feminized. That is why most churches that you visit, there's a huge female audience and there's very little males in the church. There's not that many men at the church because churches are hugely feminized. Why? Because the pastor and the leader is speaking to those women and he knows that he cannot say too much or those women will leave. And the biggest example of this is I visited many churches in my area. And what commonly shows me the example is Father's Day and Mother's Day. When you go to a church in your area and you go to their Mother's Day event, there's this big blowout special. It's roses for all the women. It's red carpet treatment. Every man is posted at a door, opening doors. There ain't no ladies touching any handles in the church, right? We gonna cook for our women today. We gonna make sure our women are served today on Mother's Day. And then you visit that same church and you go on Father's Day. And you go see it. The pastor got a word and he's chastising the men. And he's saying, men do better. Men, you got to step it up. You got to love your wives and you got to step it up. You got to do better and you got to cater to your home. So you see it on a very large scale in the church community. That's why there's more women at church.
In the most patriarchal system in the world. But I digress.
And those pastors don't hold the women accountable. And the second they do, the women leave the church. And the pastors can't have that because that makes up the majority of their congregation. So they'll say anything. Women, you the prize. Women, you the nurturers. You the salt of the earth. They'll say whatever they gotta say, and they'll chastise their men. That's why most men stay away from churches. That's why you don't see a huge body of men in church. So to the point, women are not holy. I seen an example live. This woman was on the choir director, and she was in the music ministry, and she was leading the church ministry for the youth. And she got pregnant, and she got pregnant outside of marriage. She wasn't married, and she got knocked up. So what did that pastor do? He removed her from leadership. He held her accountable to what she's preaching, the word of God. So guess what that woman did? She left the church. She did not want to be held accountable. The pastor did not kick her out of the church. He just removed her responsibility as a leader in the church. But she could still attend. She could still come. What'd she do? She stopped coming altogether because she didn't want to be held accountable. So that's what Jah is speaking to. That's what the therapist is speaking to. That's the question that he's asking. It's not the men. It's not, just like you're saying, it's not all women. We're not speaking to all women, but there's a huge shift. There's a huge shift. And we see it in the biggest faculties and the biggest establishments in life today. So great question, Jah. Ladies, you get one more.
I just want to say blame the man, because I didn't have to be accountable for myself originally. It was the man was accountable for me. So I should fix that problem, and then maybe we'll fix ourselves. Next question. Let's go.
I had to get it out. I had to get it out. Marcus Winston wants to ask you a question, Karmea.
My thoughts about what he just said? Yeah, I understand that completely. I understand that completely. There are a lot of females who do not take accountability, but I was saying not all of them are like that. I just think that there hasn't been, people haven't met enough accountable ones. That's all I'm saying. I'm one of those accountable ones. Everything don't feel good when it's time to take accountability, but I'm that kind of person who like to nip it so I can go forward, because I don't want to meet this again. So let's go ahead and make it right, fix it, update it, so we can go forward to the next version.
Absolutely. And Ben Price, you're right. Christian church, yes, but that is not the case in Muslim. Muslim and Jewish communities have a very strong male-dominated presence. Yes, you are correct. I'm talking about the Christian church. Ladies, you have another question to ask the men, and then we'll end it there.
Sure. So my question, our other question would be, how do you, what does being a man in a relationship mean for you in versus what you thought it was initially?
What I thought a man is, and what I experience at being a man today is that men are providers. Men are all the things that you want us to be, but we want a partner. We want a partner in its truest sense. Men want someone that is going to stand beside them and lift them up and build them up and not tear them down. And so that requires a certain level of cohesion. That requires a certain level of honesty and empathy and understanding. And so I am not always going to have the football. I'm not always going. I'm full of fallacies. I'm full of mistakes, and I'm not always going to be the dominant force. Men can be what you need us to be. I feel 10 feet tall when a woman has my back and she supports me. And I've also experienced when a woman said she had my back and didn't and fell drastically. And so I think great men, I'll give the example. Nelson Mandela was in prison most of his life, and it took a strong woman to continue his legacy while he was incarcerated. And when he came out of prison, he became the president of an entire country, not due to anything that he did. The man was in jail. It was because he was with a strong woman that had his back. Most women today could not be with a Nelson Mandela. Most women today could not be with a Martin Luther King, because you all would leave a man for being incarcerated. You would leave a man that went to jail, even though he's standing for your civil rights. So So a man can become what you want him to become. If you want a provider, a man has the potential, but you have to believe in him. I love the story of Denzel Washington. When he met his wife, he didn't have any money to afford the date. Their
He didn't
first
have
date.
the money for the taxi ride home.
Okay, he didn't have the money. Most women today would not date a guy that had to catch a taxi. Why don't you have your own car? Why aren't you picking me up? Most women would not be with a man like Denzel Washington during that time. But what is he now? He's the most sought after actor in the industry. That is because he had a woman that believed in him when he had nothing, and she stood by him in his flaws and all. And he's the most prolific man there is. He's one of the most prolific and sought after actors there are. Men have the potential, but we want partners. We want true partners to believe in us and be there for us and have some empathy and understanding and work with us. Just like I said earlier, if you want to be a caretaker and stay at home, mom, help me get you there. Don't just enter the relationship and tell me, well, I'm quitting my job tomorrow because you the provider and you supposed to fix my car. You supposed to do this. Help me get you there.
Now I'm seeing what Stanley Reed just put into the comments. He said, "Nah, that's not the jail sentences I'm seeing. These boys doing foolishness and still trying to prove the law wrong. We're talking about basically. I'm looking at what are you going to jail for? If we're talking about that, what are you going to jail for? What's the reason why you in jail? Am I supposed to hold you down? That's different. But when it comes down to a man having it all,
I did not say a thug. I did not say a gangster. I didn't say a 50 Cent. I said a Nelson Mandela. Did you hear me? I said Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela was wrongfully incarcerated. So I hear you, Mr. Stanley. I'm not talking about the gangsters, the thugs, the dope boys, the dudes out there doing dirt. I'm talking about there are great men that women are overlooking because they don't have cab fare. That's what I'm talking about.
a lot of that is I feel is society standards because everyone is not perfect. You have some people fall upon hard times, things happen, but they need that time to get back to where they were or even better. We have to give each other the same grace we would want somebody to give us. Now, when it comes down to it, now if like I'm gonna throw this out here, anybody who's doing it, if you working at Burger King, you've been there for 10 plus years, you still sitting there on the fries, you don't plan on going nowhere else, but you want this girl that has her life together, has a degree, and has her money in order, has a place and a vehicle. She won't give me a chance. And I'm like, you're not even giving yourself a chance, baby. You still in the same spot. What are you planning on doing to upgrade yourself?
How am I
to get at least to the level
where you met me? That's where you met
me. If I met you going to
if you met me if you met me at Burger King, that's where you met me. That's not where I'm going. That's where you met me. That's
no, not saying
the same way I found you with the degrees and the high paying job. That's where I met you.
So basically, would you accept somebody if they was not in the same spot and you could tell that they don't have that potential?
I would accept some. Listen, I have dated women.
Men accept women with less more than women will accept men with less.
Every single day.
But why? I do have. Why is that though? Do you guys value yourselves as well?
Y'all telling us pay 100% of the bills while also.
Oh no, I ain't never said that. I'm saying I'm asking. I asked. I asked. I said different folks, different stuff for different folks. For myself, I can.
If men are meant to protect and provide, right? That would mean that your status as a woman in life, where you are, where you work, would not matter. I don't think y'all listen to what you're asking. I don't think y'all really think these things through. Men accept women that work at Burger King all the time and can't pay for taxi fare. If a woman is catching the bus to go to school, a man who have money will see her and see her value on that bus. because she don't be hollering at no thug. She don't be in the streets. She out there, and we see her real value. I think too often, especially in this generation, relationships are very superficial. Like, we're not focused on the value of the person. When we talk about dating, we talk about going to Applebee's. And would you go to Applebee's or everybody doesn't. Y'all expect a man who's in college, a 20-year-old, to be able to take you to
Oh
to
no,
Ruth's Chris? Like, a
no,
woman
not at
would be
all.
in college with a man, right? And still expect higher. Still want him to. When I was in school, there were girls that I had strong crushes on that were dating men with full-time jobs in. Can I compete with that? Does
Yeah,
that mean that he has more potential than me?
absolutely not.
No.
Oh no, that doesn't necessarily mean
But
that.
women
That's not what
have
I
been
meant. I'm
dating.
just saying when you're. Oh no, go ahead, boo. I'm sorry.
Women have been dating up forever. Men have been dating down forever. That's nothing new. That's all I'm saying. It's nothing new. We don't date based on potential. We date based on character. Women date on this. This is just Jah's opinion. This is just my perspective. Men have a 0 to 100 scale. Women have 100 to a 0 scale. Y'all see a man and you start him off at 100, right? And then you start gradually taking off points as you get to know that he ain't shit. Men, we see a woman and we start you off, would I smash? And then as we get to know her character and see how she is, we start adding points. Okay, this woman is a woman of value. You know what's the difference in that? That man is looking at her value and learning her. The woman is looking at what he is, and by the time y'all figure out that he ain't shit and he dunked to 45 out of 100, y'all already in love.
It happens. It happens.
Mm.
Crystal
Very
Thompson,
often.
Dantes Trump said a quick short story. Crystal Thompson said another one. Obama was Michelle's intern. She was already successful when she met him. But the
But that
man had
doesn't
a
mean he wasn't on his way.
he was an intern. He could have dropped out of college.
But she had to
Yeah, he
see
can
that
drop
in him.
out, but
That took time. She had to
yeah, you
see.
can see the potential in him.
No, you can't. He's an intern in law school.
No, she
You
had
can
to
still
see that
see
in
that
him.
in somebody. You can
But
still see that, but I'm saying in certain instances, you could just tell that someone is not trying to move after a certain amount of time. Not when you first just see somebody.
Mhm.
You could sit there and try to get to know somebody like this person don't seem like they want to move. They just content in this place.
so
They're
why
just
do we have
content
the
in being in this
conversations?
level.
So why do we have those conversations about where the guy is taking you on a date then? If it's really about his character, why
Oh,
do we even have those conversations?
Cheesecake Factory, Ruth's
yeah,
Chris.
I don't have those conversations because if I like you, then we can go and we
Rolling.
can convert. Yeah, we can converse. But other than that, for the people who talking about Applebee's, McDonald's, and all that type of stuff, that's a lot. That's really a lot because you should take it as not necessarily honor, but it's what's the word?
I had a
They're
woman.
taking you out. They don't have to.
I had a woman tell me she would never go out with a guy, and she would look down on a guy who took her to Waffle House for a dinner date. Mind you, she's calling me from Waffle House.
I'm kind of confused.
She said if a guy offered to take her to Waffle House on a date, she would think that guy isn't putting in any effort and he's not on her level. And she's calling me and telling me this from Waffle House while she placed her order for scrambled eggs with a pecan pie waffle.
Because she eats
You can't
there,
be. You
but
can't.
she doesn't want to be
She doesn't
taken
want
there
to be
to eat.
taken there, but she eats there regularly.
So you
We
should know
wouldn't
the
we,
menu
we,
back and forth. I'm confused.
we wouldn't have these. He's saying we wouldn't have these types
You can make
of
suggestions.
we wouldn't have these type of women that think that way if women were seeing men for where they're at. If a guy offered to take you out, he's taking you out. And I'm taking you out to a place that you frequently
Yeah.
eat. So why does it matter where I take you? The point is to get to know me.
Mhm.
So
I think it matters where you take the person. I'm not talking from a financial cost perspective, but if you're getting to know a person, it does kind of matter. Because if you're taking me to the movies, I don't really want to. Then we're not. You can't talk in the movies and get to know a person in the movie. We gotta We're watching a movie. You know what I mean? Like that's something you do when you've already kind of invested yourself. Like, hey, let's go grab a movie. Okay, cool. We can do that later. But we gotta, someplace that where we can have communication and be actively talking. And I agree. You can date a man that have a lot of money. He ain't taking your root, Chris, every day. You ain't like you to go there every day, So why are we pretending like? I take myself to root, Chris, and so forth. So I'm good. I can go there, or I can go to McDonald's and get a meal if I want to, because that's what I do on a normal day. But I understand when you're dating, you have to be dating with a purpose. You got to see that this guy has a purpose, or this female has a purpose. Like you said, the guys usually go from 0 to 100. We go from 100 to 0. If where he takes me to eat determines the kind of person he is, my metrics is already off. Like he can take you to a nice place to eat and have no good intentions for you at all.
Exactly.
Yep. He could be a drug dealer. He can take you to Ruth Christie, root for your drink, take you back, sex you off, and leave you on the side of the road. Like that doesn't mean that he has good intentions for you. Well, I'm not saying not to have any type of standard for where you want to go and have something to eat, or stay within what you do. What you do is what you do, and what you like is what you like. I would say, hey, here is 5 suggestions of where I would like to go to eat. What do you think? Pick one of them and let him go pick it out and see which one he want to take you to. Because, as a suggestion, if he asks me, where would you like to go? I'm going to send him a list of things where we could possibly go. You pick one, tell me the day. I'm available this damn time. I'll be ready. I'll meet you there.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's not that complicated.
This is my toxic trait. This is my toxic trait. I don't care where a woman wants to go. I don't care where you want to go. I tell a woman where we're going and what time we're going to be there or what time I'm picking you up. And I only ask 2 questions. Do you have any food allergies, or are you on any special diet restrictions?
But because I don't think that's toxic though, Marcus.
I have taken
I don't think that's toxic either. You're already taking her. It's going to be free. It's not toxic.
Most guys don't tell you I'm taking you here. They ask you where you want to go. 9 out of 10 times when I'm asked out, it's where I want to go. It's not here is where we're going.
Which is a problem. Is a problem, right?
Right. So what you're doing, Marcus, isn't toxic. And I appreciate you asking about allergies and stuff.
You taking initiative to me.
Yeah.
My thing is, why do people realize you are a stranger, man? Like, I don't know shit about you. When I suggest where we going, I don't know you. Like, how you offended because I suggested something that you don't like, and I don't know you.
I don't play them games.
I don't get it.
Yeah, you don't come and you're not picking me up from my home either, because like you said, I don't know you. You and your homies will come back and rob my whole place when we're done. I don't know you.
Right. I don't play them kind of games. This is where we're going. Do you have any food allergies? Do you have any? Are you vegan? Are you pescatarian? Are you Mohican? What are you? And if you don't, then I'm not going to, if you're a vegan, I'm not going to take you to a buffet that has all meat, right? That's all I care about. But I'm telling you where we're going. I've taken a woman to Roots Chris. I've also taken a woman to go get ice cream for a date. That depended on me, solely me. And if you don't like Waffle House or you don't like whatever, I'm still going to go. I'm just not going with you, but I'm still going.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
Fellas, just one quick tip, fellas. If you would never have these issues if you date women that like you and you date women that have their own, I guarantee you'll never have this problem. Because I've never had an issue where it's like, oh, I can't go there and this and that and the third. Because date people that like you and date people that have their own, not trying to come up. And you can tell the two, because if she's asking for an outfit to pay for she don't like you.
She ain't like you for real. She ain't like you for
real.
Oh,
no.
And then you got to pay for the
really like you like that. She don't like you. She don't like
everything. Yeah.
She don't like you. If you got to pay for the children to get watched, no.
I need the babysitter fee up front. And to go plates when we done. And you can't come back with me. She don't like you.
Facts.
She ordered the to-go plates before you even ordered dinner.
This has been a fantastic episode. This is incredible. You guys are fantastic. Thank you all for tuning in to the Gentleman Style Podcast Show. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank my incredible dynamic co-host and the Same Difference podcast for showing up and helping us navigate these tricky waters. Check them out, Same Difference podcast. You can find them on all social media platforms. That is in the comments below on Facebook, Instagram. So Facebook is Same Difference podcast, and on Instagram, that's Same Difference podcast 2022 with the @ symbol. Thank you all for joining us today. We love you guys. Any final closing remarks, any words of wisdom? You guys shared a lot today. This is dope.
Take care of each other. Love each other. I was happy to be with y'all today. All of us on here. I hope we can definitely do this again. And Valentine's Day is coming up. Please treat each other softly. Don't be extra.
Absolutely. Miss Nisi?
Thanks for having me tonight. It was great. I had fun.
You're amazing. Jah?
Thank you so much for inviting us and having us on. We appreciate it. Thank you so very much. It was beautiful, Marcus and Karmea. Mrs. Poole, we gonna have to talk offline or something. Cause it seemed like you had something on your chest. But thank you very much.
We love you guys. Thank you all for joining us. And thank you, our wonderful audience, for joining us in the Gentleman Style Podcast show today. I hope this was helpful. I hope this was insightful. Love each other. Lead with love. Always. Always, always, always. We got to let these people go. They got a podcast to run. They got a show to broadcast because they are doing big things in the VI, Virgin Islands. They are huge, massive. Check them out. So, like we end every show, take care of your friends. Take care of your family, and always, always take care of business. This is Marcus, the gentleman, Karmea, the unorthodox Southern Belle, Jah from Same Difference, and Nisi from Same Difference Podcast, signing off. Love you guys. Bye.